Probably by bailing out every few years. That's what I use. That's my. That was unintentional, but it seems to. I think it helps because I think we come back to it and we're all still great friends, but we haven't spent the last 30 years, basically wanting to kill each other.
No, but I'll tell you what. The bands that just kind of cram themselves in the van and do 200-300 shows a year, and they do that for about 3 or 4 years, and then they break up. I mean, that doesn't ever not happen. So I think the fact that we've just kind of spread it out and made it a little more comfortable for ourselves is why we can still stand to hang out and to be friends with each other, and everything's cool.
Yeah, and plus when we do decide to do shows, it's because we're like, we want to do this because it's fun. It's like whenever we've done it, it's because we had the urge and the passion to do it, and it wasn't because someone was making us do it. So I kind of think that what that means is you're going to take breaks from it, and then you're going to come back, and you're going to come back kind of revitalized, and that's kind of what we try to do.
We get out there at Christmas time, or once or twice a year, we get out there, hang around in the old stomping grounds, or like that opportunity to play when it was Fletcher's birthday. That was another opportunity. So we don't get out there a lot, but I mean, when we do, I like to hang out at the beach, walk around at the beach, the harbor and all that. It's a lot of good memories.
Oh yeah, like I should mention, my mom lives there, so there's that. Just like, I don't think it's any different for anyone else our age. It's like you gotta try to stay healthy, and part of that is just to try to stay active, and so we're both pretty much like, in the gym or whatever, trying to do that. And then, as a singer, I have to try to stay on top of that. So we do a lot of prep work for these shows. It's not as easy as it looks, obviously. So
I just do what I've always done, which is practice every day, to where it just becomes autopilot. And then even though if you look at a T-shirt and it's got the 20 dates, it looks like a tour. It's not really a tour. We keep flying in and flying out and going home. And then flying in and flying out and going home. So it's not like we're like piled up in some van and you're using the other guy's like shoes for a pillow or whatever. Well, that's not happening. So we're fine. And right now we don't have any known health problems to have to look at the moment. And we're just trying to stay as healthy as we can. And we're just grateful. Frankly, we're just grateful to be able to still be able to play and to still be able to enjoy it, and even more grateful to have put a record out that wasn't just one of these things where it's like, oh great, so-and-so put a record out after 10 years, who cares? The people actually seem to like it okay, and I feel like, well, that's great. People still care about us, and we still care about playing, so let's keep doing it. I mean, we thought it was going to be 2013.
Yeah, I mean, we had songs back then. I mean, we started writing songs pretty much probably in 2010, 2011, because it all kind of came together at about the same time. Like, he recovered from his brain surgery, and that actually spurred me to write the song for that recovery. And then I think we just started writing more and more songs.
These guys, he's talking about the song "Comeback Kid."
Comeback Kid. And so we already had songs, and it just took us a while to kind of free up everyone's schedules, and basically get it done right. Basically.
In the case of Carl and Stefan and I, we've been kind of ongoing writing songs, whether they end up on an all record or wherever they end up. And with Milo, he tends to leave it and come back to it more. But on the other hand, I'm notoriously unprolific. So I really think, I don't know how these guys like Paul Westerberg, how do you write 12 great songs every year? Like who does that? Yeah. Or like Steve Earle, how would Duke Ellington write? If I can write one really good song per year, I feel like I'm happy with that.
So the good news is that we have 4 songwriters in the band. So if we only had one songwriter, we'd be hosed.
We would. None of us can crank songs out, or I think there are people that can craft them together, sit down on the guitar and like, hey, I got a song. I have to have some kind of weird like moment of inspiration, and then epiphany, then I have a song. Otherwise there's not going to be a song. Or I always joke, it's like if nobody dies, there won't be a song. I have to have something really major happen. Otherwise I don't have something to write about.
Does writing help you like cope with stuff like in that way?
I work it out. I mean, I had to work out all the bad stuff that happened in my family and my health and my marriage. Like all those 2 songs, Without Love and Spineless and Scarlet Red, I had to like actually get that all out on paper and like get it get it out and like, okay, now we put this behind us, you know, my family and I and my wife, and okay, now we're past
Yeah,
that.
I mean, one thing about if you look at the almost 100% of our material, it's all kind of, you know, autobiographical. We don't have the imaginations to actually like make up. It's got to be coming from some experience that we've had, and so that's pretty much like across the board, like a true statement.
Autobiographical to a fault.
Yeah, it'd be better if we could make stuff up. We could maybe be a little more prolific, right?
Yeah, I was talking like Nagel was like, I don't like that one, so I can't listen. That's too much. You went too far, dude. Like, you know, that kind of thing.
You went too far. You were too honest.
Yeah. Too much. TMI.